welcome everyone to the 2021 Sunstein Open at Sunnymeade event. I'm Raivis Marcons Craig, your TD for this event. Beside me here for a special commentary, I have Noah Cronin.
What's up, guys?
And we got Shane Wyatt, who's doing commentary for the first time. This should be fun, guys.
Absolutely. All right, so it was a wet and rainy day.
Very wet and rainy. Thank you, Disc Golf 978. Thank you, Discmania and Sunstein LLP for making it happen. Even with the rain, we had a great time. We had a lot of good pros. You're going to see some action from Dylan Capaccioli, Simon Lizotte, Nick Carl, and Wadsworth Moriarty. A great feature card, in my opinion.
Yeah, we were really lucky to have Simon in the area for this event, and for him to still stay committed even though the weather was just torrential was just really awesome to see.
I'm not going to lie, I thought he was going to drop. I did. I didn't see him pull in until all of a sudden it was time to go, and he got out of the car, and I was like, well, not winning this one.
Pretty sure there was some money on the line whether he was going to stay or drop, but...
He ended up staying.
Yeah, we're all appreciative because we got some great action for this event. And shout out to Nick Carl for coming up from Virginia too. That's a long ways from down there, and to come up to the Sunstein events, we're really appreciative of that.
Okay, so for hole one, you've got a par 4. Oh, wait. What layout are we playing?
We're playing blue to
white, so it's actually par 3.
Yeah, we're playing blue to green right here, hole 1. He's got Simon throwing that big turnover, trying to keep it in bounds. And he actually played that extra safe that time, so definitely kept it about a good 30 feet away from the OB line.
Good toss for right out of the gate. It's going to be a gusty, rainy day, folks, so just bear with the elements with us here.
Yeah, honestly, the camera doesn't do very much justice for how crazy it really was this day. We had 15 to 20 mile an hour winds and torrential downpours the whole day.
Yeah, but look at that forehand. Kid doesn't care about wind at all.
No. Oof.
Oh, and it looks like he just skipped through the OB. Yeah.
Nice shot with his Halo Destroyer there, Dylan.
Never a chance. It was inbounds the whole way.
Here we got Kyle Moriarty with the Star Destroyer.
Oh!
Almost hitting the shed on the right there.
He just yanked it a little bit. Probably got a little more grip than he was expecting.
And now we got Nick Carl, who's going to be throwing his Zeus. Pretty good toss there.
Yeah, he'll be left with a longer putt than he wants, I'm sure, for birdie.
Yeah, it doesn't look like anyone really has the putt that they wanted here on the first hole.
Dylan's fairly close, but I don't know if he's in the circle.
Ooh, good start there for Wads.
Simon from about 80. He's just a little short left.
We'll see if he makes any of those trick putts today.
Here we got Dylan, like Shane said, probably the best look so far. And he ends up leaving it just a little short. Maybe the little first hole jitters.
Yeah, this is
Carl
a total
almost
bonus,
got in
right?
the circle.
Oh yeah, Nick was a little closer than Dylan here. Just on the circle's edge, just outside circle 1. Probably looking at about a 35, 36 foot putt. Yeah, probably the same thing. Maybe a little first hole jitters. You know, having the camera out there definitely adds some jitters as well.
Yeah, those first hole jitters on camera are totally real.
A little foreshadowing there, folks.
What are you talking about,
Nothing.
guys? Like,
Oh, that's just uncharacteristic for Nick there, but I'm sure he'll step up and get a birdie on the next hole.
oh, you look at how mad he is walking off hole 1 right now.
I'm pretty sure you'd be mad too. But.
Nah, I don't get mad.
Ooh,
Oh,
Wads
there's
just-
Wads. Yeah, that one just barely snuck over the rim too.
He's laughing.
Yeah.
Simon's laughing.
Yeah, him and Simon joking around a little bit, maybe trying to keep the vibes on the card a little light.
Well, it's early in the morning. We realize at this point that it's going to be a rainy, rainy day with absolutely no hope of break in the weather. And we're all just trying to cheer each other up to start our day.
All right, here we are at hole 2, par 3, playing blue to green. And this actually played as, I think it might be playing as the easiest hole today, especially on the blue to green layout. So this is not a hole that you want to see these top pros leaking a little bit.
No, I expect a star frame here for sure. This is definitely one that you want to get. It's the one that you want to check in your head, just birdie.
Well, I don't know.
It can get a little tricky.
It
There's that
can,
OB, it's a low ceiling.
especially with a grip like this. You're already throwing a really soft technical shot, hyzer here, and like you're trying to not hold on to the grip the disc all that much with your grip, and with the rain, it's so easy to let this one just be sawed off too much.
It definitely is.
Oh,
Good
almost jinxed it. But
he's going with his proton pilot there. Nice shot.
I almost had him. I almost called it right out of his hand.
Here we have Nick hoping to get a stroke back from that errant putt on the last hole.
And he's throwing his multi
and that
just
looks
beautifully.
Skip up there.
Just short, but I'm sure he'll convert there.
Yeah, never mind. This hole's super easy.
You take it back?
Nope.
I mean, this is the one that almost everybody wants to get.
Yes.
We got Dylan. It looks like he was maybe
Great.
a little long, but
And-
ends up able to connect for the birdie.
Let's see if he can start the star frame here.
Yo, what's a GMT?
Oh, so shout out to the greatest media team ever, actually, behind the camera here. We got Quinton Scott, we got Buddha, Dan Snyder, who did some editing. He also did the camera work, and we also have Zach Taylor. So shout out to those guys helping create the greatest media team ever there.
Oh.
So that's what GMT is, folks.
There you go, Nick.
Yep, there's Nick taking that stroke back from hole 1. And as you saw, Simon actually left that putt a little bit short as well, which is pretty uncharacteristic for someone like Simon to miss that circle, right inside circle 1 putt.
Yeah, he just didn't lift his arm up all the way.
It was pretty uncharacteristic, but Simon being Simon's probably just going to walk it off and know he's going to get the next hole.
Yeah.
Man, it looks so calm in this video, though.
I know. Yeah, camera doesn't do the weather justice
Folks,
today.
it was
Look,
not
the
calm.
leaves are barely moving. Like, you can't even tell.
And it was cold. It wasn't just raining, it was cold.
What are you talking about? A summertime 48 degrees?
Dylan's going here with his PD2, hole 3. You have to make it around the Mando, OB on the right-hand side with that fence, and OB deep. It's hard to go deep, but he might be able to.
All right, it's a little harder to go OB than you think on this one. The trick is that basket is so far to the right that you want to push the corner in order to get right enough, especially on a forehand, but it's easy to just saw it off and not get all the way around the trees.
Yeah, and going to green makes it a little easier than going to blue. That's a nice shot by Wyatt. Just got a little caught up with that tree there.
See, I know these guys got big forehands, but I really like the backhand anhyzer here. I feel like you really want that glide. Even though it's not nearly as right as perhaps Blue Basket, I still think you want the glide, like something like this.
That's a nice
Yeah,
shot.
that looks like a great shot.
Z Undertaker for Nick Carl there.
Like that was plenty right enough. It
Yep.
was a little bit maybe too high, but of course with the rain knocking everything down, it's kind of hard to tell.
Here we got Simon throwing that big turnover as well, a shot that he's really good at, and it looks like he caught just a little bit of a tough angle when he hit the ground, and it kind of cut rolled away from the basket.
Got a
under there.
lot of roll there.
Yeah.
That was kind of crazy.
Yeah, you kind of dumped that one.
Okay. There's Kyle from about, I don't know, maybe 50, 60 feet out with a bunch of trees in the way. That was a pretty valiant effort, honestly.
I gotta say, that's one of the longest putts I've ever seen him run.
Yeah, it was a safe run. I don't know if it was a run, but it was a safe run.
I'd give it a run. He had it off the ground at basket.
Yeah. So
Let's see if Dylan can convert this one. Tough little hyzer putt.
Dylan's putting with his P2, I believe, and then Waz is putting with his Lunas, if folks want to know.
Come on. Come on. No!
Gotta make that one.
Just a little bit short.
I wanted to see that go in.
We all want to see it, dudes.
So this hole was actually playing at 3.31 today on average. So a lot of people were taking a 4 and not enough people were taking 2s to really bring that down.
Yeah, it makes sense, especially with the conditions. If you don't get over that Anheuser or the flick correctly, you're going to be pinched.
I know, it's really tough
pretty
to...
pretty tough up and down.
Yeah, it's tough to give yourself like an actual putt inside the circle on this one.
It's hard to do, man.
It
It's hard
is.
to do. All right. So, we've seen 3 holes at this fun course in the rain. Let's move over to hole 4. The first Oh, never mind. This is a par 3.
Also a par 3.
This is a very difficult.
Yeah, this is
hole.
one of the hardest holes out here as well. Playing as a par 3. Ooh, and it looks like Dylan. That one, honestly, is probably all due to the conditions today. Because that looked like it just completely slipped out of his hand and went a little bit lower than he had wanted it to. But if you look on the middle of the fairway here, it's lined with those white stakes. So that plays as OB, so you actually can't cross over those white stakes and stay over, or else you'll be taking an OB stroke.
Well, on the other side of the stakes is hole 3.
Yeah.
That's the fairway for hole 3.
Yeah.
And this plays longer than 423. Let's be real. It seems like it's a 440 smash.
Yeah, it's
right?
really hard to just even get yourself to the wall, never mind over the wall, to actually give yourself a putt for a bird. So
It feels like the only guys getting over and through that wall throw 450 or beyond.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And with these conditions, I mean, Nick's a great thrower, and he didn't get too far because of that wind. Look at that wind.
Look at Simon can't even get past the wall.
oh no, it looks like he's getting over it. Just got over the wall
That was
and caught the
pretty.
one tree. He definitely would have been just on circle's edge if he didn't hit that tree.
That was super pretty.
Did Dylan go out of bounds?
I don't
He
think
did.
so. Oh, he did.
It did say OB.
Oh, okay. So yeah, he must have then.
I missed it.
That's a tough break to get.
It is pretty easy to throw out of bounds on this one.
It is, yeah.
Upshot with the drone by Nick there. Very nice touch.
Yeah, leaves himself about 20, 23 feet.
I mean, the OB comes in 30, 35 behind the basket.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty touchy green. It's on a little bit of a downslope. And I believe that's out of bounds as well.
Wow, that's a tough
Maybe
break
it's
for
closer
Waz
than
there.
35 feet. Skittles?
So this hole is actually playing as the third hardest hole on this layout for this round as well at a 3.78. With it only looks like there was actually one birdie on this hole, so
Who birdied it?
I don't know actually.
We
Man.
can find that.
Yeah, we can maybe take a peek.
Oh, Raivis should have printed out them stats, brother.
Let's see if Dylan can make up that stroke here. Leaves it just a little short.
Yeah. Ooh, I wonder if this guy gets it right here. He laid it up. Wow. Simon,
Like
what
you
was
said,
it?
though.
Simon lays up.
That OB comes into play about 25, 30 feet in case he hits, maybe rolls away. Just taking his easy 3.
Looking at Kyle right here, he is closer than 35. But not close enough, Kyle.
Just barely snuck it over the rim, but just didn't want to stay in the basket for him.
No.
Shout out to my boy Daniel Maloney with the only birdie.
There it is, Daniel
I actually
Maloney.
saw it happen.
Yeah.
And I totally forgot he got that.
That's honestly
Sick
one of the
throw.
only people that I would think can actually get it there and actually
Yeah.
get himself a putt.
You knew he threw his hyzer flip destroyer.
Yeah.
Nah, he threw a turn.
Dylan tapping in his double bogey, still got a grin on his face, so at least he's
Yeah.
keeping, some positive mentality towards it.
Yeah, and that's important in these conditions.
Yeah.
I mean, these conditions could wear you down very quickly. You have to stay positive and just stay with the grind. Double bogey for Wads there. That's pretty unfortunate with that roll with the harp there.
A lot of strokes taken on that hole.
Yeah, that was a separator.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Now you know why it's the third hardest hole,
Yeah,
man. Like,
exactly.
the OB is so easy to
It's
find.
a tough hole.
Hole 5, averaging 3.53. Moving on here, blue to green, 390 feet. Pretty awesome hole. We're going right into the barn. Let's see if anybody actually hits the barn.
No, no one hits the bar.
This is a tough shot. The
No one
floor
hits
is
the
so high that you need to throw a specific angle off the tee, but when you get that nose up, it just doesn't want to travel as far as you want it to.
Yeah, and
Ooh.
they like to turn over just like that
Yeah.
into the wind.
Saw it there. It looks like Nick maybe put a little bit too much arm into that one, and the wind just kept it drifting to the right.
Shout out to Josh Quackenbush for helping spot the disc there and TD these events. Really appreciate that.
I feel like that elevation right off the tee makes it stay, like, it makes you hold it in your hand just a little longer to make
Yeah.
sure you get it high enough to clear the hill, which will more often than not push you to the right and into that out of bounds area.
Yeah.
And out of Dylan's hand, that forehand actually looked really good. I think he might have got a little bit of an unfortunate wind bounce. It brought him right into the ground.
Yeah, wind's a made-up thing. If you can't see it, it ain't real.
Watt's going with his Halo Destroyer.
Easily with the best drive of the bunch there.
Yeah, that was really good. Let's see if he can convert the two. Nice little.
So the basket's tucked into this barn.
Yeah, it's
all right?
directly in
It's
the center.
tucked in. So if you are in the middle of any of those sections of wall, you're not making that putt. Like
to.
it's not. It's the biggest, oldest, thickest tree you've ever had to putt around, and you just can't. You can't do it.
And you have that obstacle in the way for this event.
Yeah, I noticed that. It looks like
we had to remove it for the second round.
That branch probably came down
it
right
came down that
before.
morning.
Yeah,
Rich
in the morning.
couldn't believe it.
That's crazy.
Rich Giampatro, thank you very much for letting us play at your place. This is an awesome course.
Dylan with a tough bid there. I don't know if he was trying to give it that extra loft so he can maybe go through one of those top holes, or if he was just trying to get through the opening. But that was it just looked like it was a tough putt there.
I think he was trying to show Simon off.
See what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Oh, what a valiant
he did
effort.
almost drain it. That's fantastic.
But he probably
bid.
couldn't even see the basket from there. Like that
you
was
saw him leaning. He's not a tall man.
That was probably a blind putt.
Yeah. Well, low and off the cage again, my friend.
And
but that's okay.
Yep,
so
now that
no twos?
No, I was going to say, now that everybody's tapping out, I can spoil it for you guys. There were absolutely no twos on this hole the entire round.
I mean,
bummer. It's a tougher hole.
It's a tough hole, yeah. It's hard to even give yourself a look.
Spoiler. That's really hard to get.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd say Maloney could have done it, but he used it up on the previous hole.
Yeah, I don't think he can go back to back with a shot like that.
Not that.
He tried. I think he had the deuce look. He was putting from the knee.
Oh, now you remember.
Yeah.
All right, here we got hole 6. Kind of plays back a little bit down hole 5's fairway, except breaks to the right into the woods. Definitely a really tricky shot. You can do what Simon's throwing here. You can throw that big backhand turnover shot. It'll give you that extra glide through the trees, or you can go with what you see Wad's going with here. Really overstable forehand to try to bite yourself into that tree line, but
both these look early though. I think you have to fight a little longer.
That one was late. Simon's was early. It's
regardless of which shot you throw, this is a really tough shot to get
and
in
it's
there.
a shared basket, so you have to watch out for that as well.
It's a long 356. I'll tell you, this one plays as far as the last hole, just based on that slate, that down and then back up. For some reason, it feels like it adds 50 feet to the hole.
Yeah.
Dylan going with this Halo Destroyer. He owns this basket. That looks good.
That can just push a little bit more straight. That looks good. It'll probably be circle 2 there if he made it through.
You gotta fight through a bunch of trees at the end of the flight here.
Ooh, that looks like a great hook shot by Simon. Such a nice touch.
That's something I don't mind though.
Nick looked like he had a little bit of a look at it.
He's starting to feel that putter a little bit. You can tell after hole 1, getting that miss.
Nice bid by Wyatt, sir. He wanted that one.
Same sort of putt as the last hole, too. I know he wasn't on a knee this one, but he had that really high hyzer putt, and both of them looked pretty good.
That looks good.
That's a nice
money.
Man, what is he putting from the tee pad over there for 15 or something?
Hey, it's not out of bounds. Take it.
Yeah, well, all right.
And
I lied. He wasn't feeling his putter.
Nick just right off the top of the page there.
I mean, it only happened a while ago.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, man. I thought you were feeling frisky.
It's all right. Nick's the type of player that'll just brush that off and keep it moving along.
Yeah.
Keep strolling.
Yeah.
And this is the first hole that we came back into the woods after being in the field, so this is definitely settled down a little bit wind-wise, but it's still
Look, you can even see the umbrella right there. It just doesn't even want to stay still. I felt like umbrellas were flying around the course today.
And shout out to Dave Gavin, Dylan, and Josh DiBattista for birdies on that hole. They were the only 3 to birdie that hole.
3?
Yeah.
3 birdies? That's pretty solid.
Yeah.
That's a lot of birdies for that hard hole.
You can't really see the Mando sign on the left side there of that tree, but you have to go to the right of that Mando sign. Most people are going to take this route on the right side, and as you saw Dylan just there, he threw an absolutely perfect hyzer flip shot.
That was money.
That's hard.
It's a really tricky line here. You really just want to hit that line with something that'll flip up a little bit and glide.
This gap and angle is incredibly difficult to hit, though, because you do want to hit it with something medium stable and not like, your most stable Firebird, because you need it to stand up and glide a little bit to push for that distance. You're throwing from downhill to uphill again.
Yeah, this is a very tricky shot.
And it's much farther than 257 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it plays probably 325.
Watts can't even reach it.
He hit a tree. Come on, give him a break.
Well,
So did Nick Carl here.
Yeah, that's not good.
Nick saw it a little early, but he didn't miss the Mando, so he should. Yeah, he's just in front of the Mando. Should be able to get it. Find a little line through those trees, which it looks like he found. And he just barely hit the out of bounds post and stayed in bounds. What a lucky break!
Yeah. And I'm sure he didn't see it, but that was great.
Let's see if Simon can sink this one from about 70. Oh, gave it a good bid. Yeah, right off the cage.
So
About an
smooth
inch and a
with his
half.
feet,
I know.
too.
His circle 2 putts today have been really clean.
And it's hard to do with the wind. I mean, that's insane. Wads. Let's see if he can connect.
Hey,
Nice.
buddy!
There you go
He
with his Luna.
Sneaks that one right in.
Yeah.
Nice drive with his Champ Firebird.
That was a great birdie to get himself back on track.
Yes, sir.
And the scores are tight. I mean,
Hey, that one
Yeah.
was right in the center, man. No fear on that one.
And that was a big putt for Nick. You know, he's had a couple struggle holes. He's had a couple he's had a couple shaky putts, but to hit that OB post, stay in bounds, and to save himself a 3 there.
All right, I'm
that's how
calling
you
it right now.
capitalize.
he's
No,
making this.
no, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
Dylan's
Hit
hitting
or
this
miss
dead hard.
Instagram. This
Nah,
is a
dude.
hit.
I'm
90
calling this
for-
out.
There it
see?
is. Nice putt, Dylan.
Don't count
Way to
your
get
boy
yourself
out.
in there.
I'll make sure to do one for you.
No, don't do that.
I'm just joking.
That'd be rude.
That was solid play on hole 7 by
Yeah.
our feature card here. 2
Yeah.
birdies, 2 pars.
birdies?
Yeah.
2 birdies, and then a good par save by Nick after
Hole 7's
Yep.
tough.
being even short of the mandatory there.
And there was about 8 birdies on that hole for that day, so for round 1.
Yeah, played as a 3.33, so it was also over par. It was a tough hole for everyone.
Yeah.
Speaking
Moving on
of
to-
tough holes.
Yeah.
All right.
Moving on to hole 8. Actually, one of my favorite holes. Downhill, 357 feet. You could take a forehand that Dylan's taking here.
Ooh.
Needs to hit that a little more left and straight.
You gotta hit the line, guys. If you miss the line, between those 2 trees, you got 25 feet. All right, 25 feet. If you miss that 25 feet, you just you cross your fingers and hope that you missed it by enough to get by all the trees.
But the forehand definitely plays a little better because you can just ride that gap.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
personally play the forehand line here. I like to have my eyes facing the
Whoa.
target when I'm hitting the line, and that was actually a really good shot by Kyle.
That slid all the way down there. That was
Yeah.
impressive.
This being downhill, I actually do throw the forehand here because this is as far as I can throw my forehand. I can throw it about 290 feet or so.
Oh, look at the nice straight
flat
flip.
ground.
See if that'll flip for Simon. Oh, it looks like he left it a little high and left, caught some
Yeah.
cheddar, and fell to the ground.
Wanted to flip a little more. I'm surprised you forehand this, Shane.
The forehand line is
I
the
just
line.
throw it as hard as I can
Yeah.
and still trying to be smooth.
Oh, and Nick just finds that first tree as
Yeah.
well. Same tree that
It just-
Dylan found.
Look at the shot here. Look at where the cameraman is.
Yeah.
It's so hard to line up a backhand hyzer flip.
It is.
It's so
It is.
so hard. If you put it too flat at all, you can't drift right or you're in big trouble.
And you'll see a lot of people that throw the backhand actually turn it to the right and get lucky through that right side.
Which, okay, there's airspace over that, but you still have to miss that first initial tree.
Yeah.
If
And
you're
there's OB.
not, like, if you're throwing a shot that's actually pretty, like, too good,
Here we
you're
got
going to miss it.
Simon for his 2.
Oh, he's going to make one of those. I
Yeah.
guarantee he's going to make one of those.
He's got to make one
When?
of those
We're already
eventually.
on hole 8, buddy. No, I'm just kidding.
It'll be soon. Mark my words.
Looks like Nick gave that one a good run, but was just a little too far out. Also, the basket is playing, a good 10 feet uphill from where these guys are putting from right here, so it is a tough putt to get up in the air here.
They all kind of got stuck in a...
Oh, man. Third
He's
time.
been all over the
I
thing.
know.
So close.
Hey man, hit the chains. Although the last one he didn't even touch the chain. It just went right in. But
It's-
Dylan being the goofy little 20-year-old that he is.
Yep.
Always
definitely.
making funny faces, always keeping the vibe on the card light.
That was a good day.
Yeah, he
Good run.
really wanted that one for par, you could tell.
Seems like the
Oh.
winds died down, but the rain started to pick up maybe.
you can hear it in the background.
Yeah, you can hear the raindrops a little bit, but it doesn't seem too windy at the moment.
See, look what happens when you trust the chains.
Mm-hmm.
Nick tapping out his bogey. And there was about 6 birdies on this hole for the day on round 1. Not too surprised. Cody, Greg Peterson, Joe Bishop, Sam Henderson, and Tyler Blanchett there.
You get a birdie on this hole, though, you definitely feel like you're taking one on the field.
Oh, absolutely.
You're feeling good,
yeah,
man.
this is a good
You're
birdie to
feeling
get.
good. That's a hard little line to hit.
Yeah.
Speaking of hard, how about hole 9, huh?
Ooh.
So hole 9, it's playing as a par 3 to 360 feet, but as you can see, there's almost no legitimate line off the tee. You do have this backhand line that Kyle hit near perfect.
That's
the shot.
But as you
I
get
would
150 feet
say-
up the fairway, all those trees just start to close
he
in.
has the highs
they
a
do
little
close
early.
it.
Yeah.
It requires an incredibly
Like this?
specific shot shape. Nah, dude, he pulled that and it got. I was gonna say it got lucky, but no, that's what happens. Like
Yeah.
This shot requires such the most.
Oh, Dylan taking the local of local gaps there.
And so-
he actually told Rich to create that gap.
Yeah,
for
no,
him for
that gap
shot.
is actually called Dylan's Highway
Yeah.
for either going to green or to blue. So
Okay.
I'm very surprised that Dylan hit first available there.
Yeah.
I'm not. That's such a dude. It's like 5 feet wide, man.
Hey,
But he hits that a lot.
Oh!
Nick's just a
Yeah.
little off today with his ESP.
All right, so
this looked like it was a tough.
this
tee pad for
line
everybody.
is totally there. You have to hit a 20-foot wide tunnel for about 185 feet, and then you have to like slightly let it fade, but it needs to push left, not fade, because the basket's straighter than you think, but not too straight because there's a tree there.
the camera had a hard time following where that was because there was so many trees, and
Yeah.
that was a beautiful shot.
Yeah,
by
Dylan's
Dylan.
upshot was awesome, and it looks like Nick. I can guarantee you that slip out of his hand had to do with the weather today, because
Oh yeah.
that's very unconventional for Nick to hit first available on a forehand upshot like that. So I guarantee his fingers were wet for that throw.
And definitely one of the harder holes, averaging 3.67.
Oh, he fluffed that a little bit.
Yeah, maybe a little fluff, maybe a little early release.
I just don't think he committed to the Anheuser.
Well, it just shows even 1040 players have a hard time on this hole.
I mean, just look at where we're at, guys. We're 9 holes in and nobody's under par. You know,
Yeah.
the course is playing tough today.
yeah, it's a tough course. I mean, with all the OB and with the conditions. for
The
sure.
OB, the rain.
Yeah.
We could say the weather's to blame a little bit.
Yeah, but it almost averages a par 4, so you're not losing much on the field here.
Yeah.
So. And that's something that you have to go in.
Not on the field, but this has got to be. Is this the hardest hole yet?
Yeah,
'Cause
no
this
birdies.
No, this is not the hardest
This
hole
is
yet.
still isn't the hardest hole, but
No.
it's up there.
Let's see if Dylan can make his 3-putt, which he does from about
was a
25 feet.
Great up and down.
That is actually a really impressive up
I don't
and
even
down.
know how he did
to
it.
hit first available, kick to the right, and still get himself a putt for 3.
I want to see a recap.
Yeah,
He's got
that
some
was
fight.
that was awesome.
He's got some. You can go back and rewind it.
Ooh,
He's got some fight in him. He's got some fight in him.
yeah.
Kyle scrapping it out for a par
Hey,
there,
that's a good score. That's
Yeah.
almost a birdie.
and Simon taking a bogey. All right, so we got one guy at even, and everybody else is over par. Ooh.
Yeah, tough hole, guys. I mean, it was a great up and down for some people, and then some people just weren't able to get the scramble play. So that's how it is here.
All right, so finally we got a hole that you throw back into the field. You shoot out of a gap. One of my favorite types of throw.
It's a great hole. Honestly, one of the signatures, I think. Watt's going with this Thunderbird here.
Looks like it's on a great angle.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Oh.
That is absolutely perfect.
I wish I put a CTP on that one because I think he would have got it.
Yeah, I don't wish you put a CTP on that one. Put it on one we can all reach.
And you can hear Dylan exclaimed, he missed the Mando, which means he pulled his shot a little bit too long and a little bit too right, which is honestly a very costly mistake to make on this hole,
Yeah, it's
especially
the one
playing
thing
to
you
this
can't
basket.
Yeah, and you have all kinds of airspace. As soon as you exit this little gap here, you have all kinds of airspace.
What a great
There's
shot
no
by
reason
Simon.
to hang it
I'm
that
pretty
wide.
sure that's his FD3 there. That was beautiful.
That disc looks really cool when it spins in the
Yeah.
air like that.
Well, anything he throws is cool.
I disagree with that one.
Hater.
Here we have Nick also throwing a nice backhand hyzer, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 of our 4 feature card mates, made it right to that circle. 2 of them are really close. Nick's on circle's edge, and see if Dylan can make something happen here from circle 2.
Ooh, that was
Oh.
a little bit. Now he was shooting from the drop zone. There is a drop zone.
Yeah,
on
there
this
is a drop
hole.
zone there. I can guarantee Dylan's had plenty of practice from that drop zone.
Let's see if he can convert with his nuke. Nice birdie.
Got him! This is Dylan's local course.
Yeah, this is Dylan's local
Like,
course.
He plays here. He lives, I think, 10 minutes away. He plays here constantly. And, this is where he wants to beat people at.
Great birdie by Simon there.
Yeah, that was a great birdie putt by Nick,
Yeah.
honestly, too.
Yeah, both of them were.
That 35-foot putt, especially, he's leaked a couple, so that was big. I'm sure big for his confidence, too,
Yeah.
heading into the back
Well,
9.
going to +4 to +3 is huge with that. That's
He went from 5 to 4 there.
5 to 4.
Yeah.
That's a big momentum swing.
Yeah.
And coming into the hardest holes, I mean, you need that.
And then you have
Hardest
Kyle
holes.
Hole
taking a
12
birdie
is one of the
there.
hardest ones. 18 is one of the hardest ones. So yeah, it's coming up.
Yep. 18 actually played as the hardest hole on the layup today.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
You'll see.
Well, is that because nobody can reach it for 2? And out of bounds is...
Out of bounds is prevalent.
both
It's not-
sides,
You got
it's
a
really
raised
easy.
basket.
So hole 11 is interesting. It's 333 feet, and it actually played 2.88. So there's a lot of people getting birdies on this. Not a lot of people messing it up. If you have good power, you're gonna most likely get this one.
Because there's no gap here. It's
Yeah,
just,
there's nothing.
hey,
You just got to throw your disc out there.
throw your disc, 300 and about, honestly, it's a little uphill. Probably throw it 350 feet,
That was
and
clean.
you should be under the basket.
Ooh, got a huge skip there.
Wow.
Or long.
Looks
That would've
like
been
he might
great
have kept
for
that one a
blues.
little bit low because it looked
Yeah.
like it was really penetrating forward and it got that big
I
skip.
don't think he was anticipating that skip.
Yeah.
No, it hit the dirt pretty good.
You honestly want to kind of play something where you want to play over that big wood pile and have it kind of crash back in. Like you
Yeah.
see Nick doing there. He might have left it a little bit high and left, but
That's a 35-foot.
you really do want to commit your shot over the wood pile and then have it crash back in.
Yeah.
Yep, that way it lands and doesn't skip.
Yeah.
Dylan throwing his T-bird 3 here, looking really smooth.
Oh, he juiced that. Oh!
That
And
was
it
smooth.
looks like it fought through everything.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Talk about crash, though. I mean,
Yeah.
he was
Yes.
well to the right of
Yeah,
that wood
it fought
pile,
it.
and he came right back in, and he didn't skip much.
Oof. Simon just grazing the basket again.
Yeah. And the
Come on,
wind settled
get
down
two.
a little
Get
bit.
another
It's
one.
like, oh,
Oh.
good try, Nick.
That was a good putt. Good follow through. Out of his hand, I thought that was going in.
I don't know. He was leaning a little left after he released it. He just had a feeling he didn't reach out. I'm going to disagree with you on that one.
Coming from one of the better putters. Yeah, I get it.
I'm just, mean.
Dylan missing his birdie
Yeah,
putt.
it looks like Dylan was also a little tentative on that putt. Maybe he didn't follow through all the way.
I think he was excited
Yeah.
to be that close. And sometimes that happens.
I think so. He knew he pulled that one into that tree line.
Yeah.
And it filed all the way through. Give him a look and missing there.
And here we got Kyle, another birdie, back-to-back birdies, especially coming after a nice par on hole 9. Kyle's kind of putting something together here.
I mean, he's under par, beating the card by 2, at least 4 to, second place. That's third place. It's pretty solid round here, even in nice weather.
For being so straightforward, I mean, I almost would expect more birdies, but
Yeah.
10 is
Yeah, I mean this
for
hole did
66 players.
but
this
you're
hole
so-
did play under par at 2.88,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it did play slightly under par. It was only one of 3 holes on the entire layout to actually play under par. So 15 holes played over par. It was real tough out here today.
All right, hole 12, one of the signature holes.
If not the
OB.
signature hole.
OB on the right-hand side. Everybody's scared of it. Let's see how they handle this hole. 324 feet. Plays like 350. And the question is, do people attack it or lay up?
See, I disagree.
In what sense?
This is like one of the most fun holes on the course. Because
That was an amazing
guys,
shot
That
by
was
Kyle.
really good.
Here's
That
the line.
is... That
Watch
was a
him-
Z
watch him
wasp.
peer this.
Look at this shot. That's what you want to do.
See?
It's not
Here's
too
the line.
aggressive. It's not a layup. It's perfect.
That disc never wanted to turn over.
Nope.
He had that on the right angle
Yep.
the whole way through.
He put it on a slight hyzer,
Yeah.
and he threw it nice and firm because he
so
trusts
hard to
that. What Discraft member wasp is that? I forget. But he's been throwing the snot out of that thing.
It's a signature series.
Simon
It's
will
a,
be
I think it's a
taking
Hamas.
Yeah.
Andrew Hamas wasp.
Oh, look at that. Great bounce
Yeah.
by the tree. Should have an easy putt for 2 there. They're making this hole look easy right now.
Yeah,
Holy
Kyle and
crap.
Simon definitely made that line look a lot easier than it is.
I mean,
Even Nick too.
Nick's throwing his
That's
ESP
good.
Undertaker right
That's
there.
really good.
Yeah, that's really
Wow.
And you can see that one wanted
Wow.
to turn a little bit, but it held its stability and it fought back for him.
You have 3 people in the circle already, and
Oh.
That's hard to. It's hard to keep up with that.
No, it is.
I mean, 3 people are in
Yeah.
the circle. This hallway is like 23 feet wide,
yeah.
lined with out of bounds on the right.
So fun fact, you said 3 of them are parked, right?
Come on,
I
Billy.
mean, they're pretty close. Nice.
That was a great.
That was
That's
actually
a good
yeah,
skip.
that's
If
a
he
really
touched
good shot.
any solid dirt there, that goes out of bounds.
Let's see if he can connect here.
And he
This
played
would
that
be
so
huge.
close to the OB line too.
I mean-
Let's see if he can save this 3.
50-50.
He's riding the edge.
Oh, just a little right.
That was a big
Got a
one.
little roll away, but
Jeez.
I'm sure he's gonna step up and just knock that one in. Oh, and he's still out.
He's still out.
He
Wow.
got a big putt there.
Man.
That's a big putt. Oh man,
Ooh, hate to see that.
that's a tough break for Dill.
Yeah, but it happens on this hole.
Yeah.
Come on.
Great
Attaboy.
There's one of them.
Yep. That's a great birdie.
Yes, sir.
Nice job, Nick. Way to fight
That's
back.
a great birdie. This one's so hard to execute.
Simon, let's see if you can putt this one in.
Looking at a little 28-foot straddle putt.
There you go, teammate.
Nice and smooth. Didn't look like he really even moved his body too much there. That one looked like it was pretty much all arm. He just really wanted to put it on the angle he wanted it on, give it a little pop.
He's got a little bit of that back shoulder movement, you know? I noticed that
he's been using
he has
more,
that lofty upper back kind of putt.
Mm-hmm.
So, quite the statistic. You saw 3 of the 7 birdies on this hole on this card right here.
Yeah.
That was pretty amazing.
Yeah, that was really good to see.
A lot of people just go OB or do what Dylan did and just hit one of those first availables. It's a very tough hole. Hole
There you got
13.
Dylan swinging on the swing, trying to keep himself a little bit light.
Hole 13, one of the shortest holes on the course, actually averaging right around par, only 221 feet, but it's pretty technical. You have to either go straight up at it or left to right, like Wads is doing here.
This is one of those holes that is so simple, you overthink it, and then you hit one of those 3 trees right there.
Yeah.
That was a good shot.
I mean,
with this
there's
Tyler.
3 trees to beat. There's 2 good-sized trees, and then there's 1 crooked tree. And if you don't decide on how you're going to get to the basket, you clip one of them.
Yeah.
Or you smash straight into it because you never made up your mind.
Looks like he couldn't make up his mind with the Sky God there.
I mean, he only throws it 221 feet 1,000 different
But
ways.
he needed a little more turn, you know?
Well, he
So
didn't
we'll see.
commit, you know? He just said, hey, just go to that basket, and he forgot to tell it how.
So Dylan throwing his P Model S, I believe, here.
Yeah, let's see how he bounces back after that double bogey on 12. Looks like he threw a
That
great
looks perfect.
shot.
Yeah, that's how I
Just
envision
enough
the line.
flip. Yeah, that's a great shot.
I taught him that.
At least wipe
Taught him
away
that.
one of those strokes that he just took on the last hole. Give
Yeah.
him some confidence heading into the back end of the course.
But come on, guys, let's be surprised here. Like the fact that it's a 3.05. I mean,
I'm shook.
I'm shocked.
Me too. I think it should have played under.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I do remember first round, though, I watched somebody throw this shot who's a very good player, and they hit the bushes. They didn't even hit those 3 trees that we were talking about. They
Yeah.
hit something that's probably 10 feet to the left of them,
Yeah.
and it's 50, 60 feet out of his hand.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's a tough. This is gonna be a really tough up and down for Nick here. Yeah.
Just a little low. And it looks like it actually leaked
Big
a little
comeback,
far on him.
too.
Yeah, another tester coming back. Even he's saying it even lifted a little bit on him.
That's what you get with the wind here.
Yeah,
right.
let's see if he can connect for
You have
this one.
confidence in you. Nope.
Oh, leaked it a little right.
Yeah. Tough day on the putting green today.
It's going to be it.
Wad's looking for his birdie convert.
Another one?
Yeah.
There it is.
I thought this guy was under par a few holes ago.
Wow. Is he -4?
How many holes in
Yeah,
a row has he gone under?
I think he just got, that was a turkey, right? That's 3 in a row?
Jeez.
Yeah, he got 10, 11.
That's
Oh, no.
impressive.
He got 4 in a row. He got 10, 11, 12, 13.
That's really good.
Yeah,
stretch
that's
right
an
there.
unbelievable stretch
He's
by
feeling
Kyle.
good. He's feeling 3 strokes on Simon Lizotte.
Well, who also got back under par? Simon was over
Yeah.
par a couple holes ago.
And now he's carded another par here.
Yeah. And he's back
Showing
under.
some frustration, tapping the basket a little bit.
It's a frustrating course, man. It
I
can
know,
be.
I
You know,
know.
everyone knows that who's played here. Sunnymede's a great course, but it can be frustrating with all the OB and just the technical shots.
Very technical shots.
Here we got hole 14, blue to greens, playing about 260 feet, but honestly, I feel like it plays further than that when you actually have to throw this line.
It's
Maybe
a
it's
weird
just
line.
because it's so technical and it's at a weird shape, and you can see, like, the cameraman from the tee-pad doesn't even really have a look at this fairway. It's a really tough shot to execute.
And he's pinched off to the right. You do not want to be in there.
The tee-pad angle just makes it really tough. You need to cut off this angle a bit. Right
unless you
off the
do that.
tee just to get over the wall.
Yeah.
That was good, but it
Yeah.
still didn't fight him all the
And
way
I-
up there.
I think you're right. This plays more like 400.
I mean,
don't
that's
know what
still
it
a
is.
long putt for 2. You know? It was a great shot, but he's got a long way to go for that birdie.
Oh, 340. I might have misspoke and said 240 when I was
Yeah,
introducing
but it feels
the
like
hole.
400 when you're trying to.
It
rip
I
does.
mean, it
It's a-
feels long.
It's
Yeah.
a tough hole.
Getting it over this wall clean is it's a lot trickier than you think.
Yeah, and Nick going with this ESP Hades here.
One birdie? One birdie? Maybe one?
That was a nice shot.
Yeah, he gets
That's all
over
you
the
wanna
wall.
do.
Anything over the wall
Yeah.
is just a successful tee
Over
shot.
the wall is a great
Yeah.
feeling.
Yep, you're happy with that.
I personally take my TD and just try to rip it over the wall.
Because look at Kyle. He's just short of the wall, pinched off to the right, and he's throwing a forehand roller into a root-filled, rock-filled ground. Like that's a very tough shot.
Such an easy hole to get a bogey, averaging 3.47 for the day.
Simon with a good up and down there.
Yeah.
That almost
Nice
looked
play.
like a little bit of a jump putt. It looked like he really just did that to make sure he hit his gap and get himself up to the basket.
Yeah, he does that really well.
You didn't want to make any mistakes here. Get yourself next to the basket.
That was sneaky.
That was kind of a different line than I expected him to take there.
Yeah,
I was expecting that hyzer putt.
Another hyzer for Dylan. That was for 2.
Yeah, that would have been an awesome birdie to get, you know?
Yeah.
He did give it a run, just left it a little bit high.
I mean, Kyle's got a long way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a tough hole.
Yeah. His putt, man, he's really got to get those things flat in order to get some distance.
Well, I think he was trying to fight the wind today, so he wasn't trying to do too much with it. But whoa, okay. Simon's
is a-
probably licking his chops right
That's
now.
a very uncharacteristic miss
Yeah.
by Kyle.
That was only 20 feet or something.
Yeah.
Come up.
He's got one of those Bob Kolchak minis.
Yeah,
There you go.
Very cool.
Get it up and in there.
Oh, yes. Them wooden minis
Yeah.
for
You
charity.
can spot them from a mile away. Shout out to Coleman Marcus with the lone birdie on this hole. What a great shot.
So even though Simon took a par there, that was a quick 2-stroke swing.
That
All of a
was.
sudden it went from -4 to -1 to -2 to -1. So
He was 3 back, wasn't
he
he?
was 3 back. Now he's only 1 back.
Chasing him down.
Yeah.
Hole 15, one of the easiest holes on the course. I mean, we have about 15 to 20 birdies. Blue to green is only 164 feet. A lot of people just choosing the flick route right here, and it's an elevated basket, so there is some depth putt potential.
And you actually go thumber on this one, right, Raivis?
I do.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It opens up the lane. And I have to tone down the power, but it works.
Quite a bit.
It's really hard to do what Simon's doing right here.
Yeah, that backhand line is very sneaky, very
Right.
tough.
That is so touchy.
Yeah.
That was so nice. I'm pretty sure that was the Sky God. Great shot by Simon was out there.
That was very finessed.
Yeah.
Though Dylan was all excited for it to go in the basket, but it was
Crystal Raptor by Nick Carl there, just getting caught up on that.
Yeah, I left it a little high out of his hand.
It's
just
the first time he threw that disc.
But
too,
it's a
so-
tough shot because you don't really want to juice it, so you want to give it the height and angle, on, especially on that forehand, so that it has the space to fight back.
Absolutely. And he's going with his harp here, wads.
So disking down a little bit compared to what Nick threw.
He's a great harp player, and he's always going to trust it to come back. Oh,
I
left it
don't-
early there.
Yeah, I don't see him throw the premium plastic harps a lot. Like, I see him throw the soft harp all the time, but I don't see him throw the premium plastic ones all that much.
Well, he's got a banger save here, hopefully. We'll see what happens.
I don't know. I don't know if he
Think
can get it
Carl
high
going for
enough on
this?
his hanging
I
basket.
don't know if he's going for that.
Wow.
That looked like a little bit of a half
that was
run.
a run.
Yeah.
That's, hey, maybe I get lucky.
Yeah, and you can't really see right now, but behind the basket,
Oh,
there
there's
was the
the
umbrella.
wind.
But
There's the
behind the
wind, folks.
basket, the out of bounds actually creeps up on you. It's probably only, and you can see Dylan laying it up there.
Yeah,
The out of bounds
smart
is a
play.
good 15 to 20 feet behind the basket, and if you really run that putt and miss, and even Kyle, like
Wow.
this is
I'm
a tough
surprised.
hole, you know.
Shane's looking at me.
I'm
right
not
now.
surprised at all, man. Like, I was
would've ran it,
surprised
right?
that he would have ran. He ran that putt on hole 3. Remember? Like, I am surprised he ran that one. This one,
Here we got Simon for the lone
Greg
birdie.
never had
Birdie
it.
by
Yep.
Simon taking charge.
look who's tied now.
Yep.
Somebody took 4 birdies in a row or something like that.
Ooh.
Took himself to 4 down. He's
Yeah.
too tall. And
Yeah, this basket's like 8 feet high. It's not the easiest
pretty tall.
putt. Not
And-
my favorite putt. That's actually pretty tricky right
It
there,
is a tricky
too.
putt. I'm lucky I'm 6'5". I can kind of just
Yeah. Well, I'm
basketball
6'5".
shot it over. Yeah.
Waz is only like 5'7", so
Yeah.
it's like...
And I don't know if you can see, but on the right side of the frame there, you got Mark Roberts, who's one of our local media coverage men, and he does an amazing job giving a lot of coverage to people. He writes poetry about people's rounds and about people's throws. So go check out Chasing the Bees on Instagram to give Mark some support.
Big shout out. We really welcomed him at these events. Thanks for coming.
He is always fun to see.
Yeah.
He gets very personal about everything.
He gets very
too.
personal, but that's something I really love.
Me
Like
too.
I feel like
Me
I got
too.
a connection with him, but I only run into him at a quarter of the
Handful of
events
events,
I play.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You're going to see him at more events, especially my events. So.
Only because he throws so many.
Hole 16. What a difficult hole. 293 feet.
You saw Dylan throw pretty much
That was a good shot.
one of the best shots you can throw on this
Yeah.
hole. That forehand flex shot is the line on this hole, I think. But as you can see, it kind of leaked a little right for him. But he's probably circle's edge in the rough a little bit. But he's probably got a putt.
Most people are just opting to throw this straight at it, gut shot.
If you could get all the way down there like this,
That's a
that
great shot.
is perfect.
That was
Yeah.
a good shot
That's
with his
perfect.
ESP
Yeah.
buzz there. Nice shot, Nick.
And he's rewarded with a 25-foot death putt.
Yeah, and this hole played 3.45, so not an easy hole. Almost half a stroke over par.
You know what? He kind of yanked that one over a little bit, but he hit the immediate couple gaps.
Yeah.
That's all you
He's
need to
most of the way down
Yeah,
there.
as long as you even get halfway up this fairway,
Yeah.
you should be able to put yourself to the base of that table.
I mean, there can't have been that many twos on this hole today.
There was.
Don't tell us how many, because we got a couple.
Yeah.
A couple chances left.
And
Wow.
look at that, even Simon
That's
electing
smart.
for the layup.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's a big drop off.
huge drop off, and right down past that drop off, you have an out of bounds little path. So
I mean, look, this kid hit the gap on a nice looking flex forehand.
Perfect.
He just hit it a little bit too fast.
Ooh.
wow,
Nice putt.
And-
Wait, was that a
Yeah,
driver
what did he
putt?
putt that
That's
with?
a driver putt.
That was
boys.
not
Was
his.
that his?
That's a driver
Ooh,
putt.
That is a
I
driver.
like that.
I bet he walked in. Oh, he had a disc with him.
Dilly with style.
Awesome, dude.
Wait, he
Team
didn't even
Tank.
bring a putter back in there. He took another driver back in there. He didn't even bring his putter.
And a nice birdie by Nick as well.
Yeah.
Both of the guys that hit the gap, Nick with a backhand,
All right.
Dylan with the forehand.
All right, how many twos on this hole? How many twos were there?
It looks like there were probably a good handful.
Seven
Maybe seven.
twos.
Yeah, I was gonna
Seven?
say, maybe 7 or 8
Man,
twos.
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Was I one of them? No.
I wasn't
No,
one
I
of them
wasn't.
either. I wasn't
No.
either.
Nope. I was super happy to get a par here.
Yeah.
I don't know if I got a par.
Oh, I'm super happy to get a 3 here. This is a tough hole.
And at this point, you can actually see the weather starting to pick up a little bit. The wind is getting a little bit more brutal, and the rain's starting to come down a little harder.
Well, maybe that's why he took the driver in there to putt with, because that was fancy.
With only 2 holes to go, we're on hole 17 here, averaging 3.14, the barn hole. Another signature hole yet
Yeah.
where
You almost never play a hole like this.
you have to shoot
It's
out of
so
the barn,
pretty.
and it's about 100 feet after the entryway, and it's only about 200 to the barn, I would say.
I
to
love
the
this
door.
hole. Like, you just gotta...
Look at
All
that.
you can see on camera
And-
is this big, bright hallway.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, man, throw it into this hallway.
Just throw a straight
So
shot.
you-
Throw any kind of shot you want. Just make it through this gap. And the gap's probably 200 feet
It's
away.
not the easiest gap. It's about 30 feet wide. But shout out to you for acing it.
Oh, that's right. That's right, baby. You know it. I wasn't going to mention it or anything like that, but,
Yeah, Shane with the lone
That's
ace.
a great shot, and that's
Hey,
exactly what it looked like. Your shot.
it looked
right?
like that, but,
Yeah.
in
Just
the basket.
a little faster, a little higher.
Well, I do throw farther than him.
It paid me to pay you $250 for that ace, but I had to.
Oh,
give it to
come
you.
on. It wasn't painful at all.
And here we got Dylan, and honestly, that's a very common spot to land because when you're throwing that backhand shot, it's very easy to leak it to the left. And if you don't have that forehand, you're pretty in a tough spot. You're not really going to be able to pitch out too easily.
Yeah, if you're tucked over inside of that wall,
Simon just.
It looked like
giving
that
it
stuck
up
on his
and
finger a little bit.
Yeah.
As soon as that came off his hand, it looked like it leaked to the right a little bit.
yeah, he probably had a little dry spot on his thumb.
Now, if you look on the left of Nick's lie, you can see some white stakes there, and it actually plays as a keyhole of out of bounds when you get out of the entrance of the barn. So I'm not sure if Nick actually landed out of bounds there. We'll have to see when he taps in if he gets a bogey or a par.
Yeah, it's a good call.
Well, I'm pretty sure if he was out of bounds, Dan would have given us an OB.
Maybe.
Yeah, I just actually didn't look.
I didn't look either.
So we'll see here.
This whole average
Is
three.
it a
putting
par?
in all that
It's a
extra
par.
work.
Okay, so he was not OB.
See?
He was safe.
I mean, the whole average around par. So
Yeah.
not too many birdies,
Yeah.
but enough.
And you, I mean, it's hard to hit that gap and still finish left short of the where the keyhole opens up. It
Yeah.
opens up right after that rock wall.
Yeah.
But if you make that gap right there, you tend to be going fast enough to put yourself on the green.
And coming to the hardest hole of the day, hole 18, 470 feet, par 3, and that's probably why I played the hardest, because it almost is the par 4 being that long and having so much OB on the left and right.
And plus, it's super windy.
Yeah.
And anybody
wet.
trying to
And
throw
Dylan's
that
going for
high.
it.
That's it.
Oh, he rolls OB.
Yeah.
Those stakes do mark the OB line, and it looks like he just went a little left of them.
And I'm pretty sure he's one of the guys that can reach it. He just
Oh,
left
he
it
has
a
reached
bit low.
it. Yep.
Nick
his
looked like he threw a
ESP
great shot
Zeus.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Okay, he's safe.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah. Now
It's on the right side of the fairway, but he's safe.
it looks scary from this angle.
Yeah. And the rain started
Yeah.
to pick up again.
And you
Yeah,
got a quick
it's-
glimpse at that basket right there. I think the basket is a good 7 feet, 8 feet off the ground.
Yeah.
So
It's a bit tall.
anything outside of 15 feet for a putt is a really tough putt.
Simon, I think, was trying to go for it, right?
I would assume so.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, yeah, it definitely
mean,
Yeah.
puts himself right outside
That's
circle
a
one.
great shot.
He's
yeah.
at 37 feet. I'd say he's going for it.
Furthest
Yeah.
by a long shot.
430-foot shot on a rainy, windy day through a tight gap. Definitely putting himself in position.
And you can hear that grunt. He was giving it, some power.
See if Kyle can check it up near the basket, nice and close.
I mean, did you
And
guys
it
see the
looks great.
flag right there? Look at it.
Look at
Look, it pulled the umbrella inside out.
Zach is trying to keep up as a cameraman. Shout out.
It is hammering on us. It is not an easy time to throw this up shot.
Yeah.
No, this up shot sucked.
And there's OB 40 feet past.
Yeah.
35 maybe.
Yeah.
This
And
time a real 35.
not
the
only is the
20.
basket elevated, but it's also on a little bit of a 2-foot elevated piece of land.
Yeah,
So
which makes
if
it super hard.
yeah, if you're on the back side of that, you're putting a good 8-9 feet into the air.
Ooh.
It's
So
a
if,
scary duck putt.
I mean, if he got on the other side of the rock right there, he is a tap in. But
All right,
now he's
let's
got that 15-foot tester,
see if he goes
15,
for
18
this.
feet.
Oh, he's definitely running this.
Oh.
And you can see by his reaction, putting his hand on his head, he didn't give that a full run.
It's hard to commit.
I know, no, it's a tough putt.
I think his
So
body
hard.
just told him no.
Let's see if Nick can leak this one in for
Yeah,
par.
had a
Yeah,
par
that's a
save,
good
Nick.
par.
And
Way to finish the
just
round.
so the folks know, par played around 975, 980 rating. So pretty good ratings for that type of conditions.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that type of conditions caused that to be a pretty good rating.
Yep.
You know, I would think that Kyle can shoot much hotter on this course. Not to mention Nick Carl and Dylan
Yeah.
being his home course, and
Yep.
I mean, let's be real, Simon's pretty good. So,
Yeah, well, it's still pretty close between Kyle and Simon, so we're going to see a pretty awesome round 2. Make sure to stay tuned for that, folks. We'll have the same commentary as well.
nice. I'm invited back. Let's
Yeah,
go.
you're back.
I chipped in just enough. Hopefully, I got some chirps in. Didn't offend anybody with some, you know.
Here we got Kyle making sure his disc is nice and dry.
Look at that. It's like you said, 7
No,
feet
dude,
high,
it's a
at
tough
least.
putt. And he almost left it a little high.
He did almost leave it a little high.
Took his time.
That's all right.
Yep.
It is in, boys.
Yep. 3's a
Shooting
3.
up that angle is tough in the wind and rain. So that hole averaged 4.14. Something
It averaged a
ridiculous.
stroke and almost a stroke and a half over par.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
So just a little preview of who's going to be on the second round feature or lead card. You got Cody White, Shane Wyatt, Simon Lizotte, and Kyle Moriarty.
Oh, I made lead card. Let's go.
Can't wait to watch you guys. Thanks for joining, everyone. Thank you, Sunstein. Thank you, Discmania. Thank you, Disc Golf 978. Thank you to all the players for joining us today as well. That tournament was awful conditions. Have a great one. See you around.